challenging my opponent's proposition that social media is declining humans' well-being. The advocate claims that social media can be addictive and can harm our mental stability. So social media has become a big part of our routine life. Although social media has some negative effects, just like many things in life, there are also positive things that come out of social media. Not only has it made it easier to communicate and make connections, but it has also helped showcase personal brands and develop one. Social media may also help our mental health. I believe that social media is improving humans' well-being if used correctly and with moderation. Yes, social media can be addicting, as stated by the advocate, but just like many things, as I said, in life, that is used constantly, it can become addicting. For many people, being on social media is beneficial. People around the world often gain money from posting pictures and receiving a lot of likes or views. A single mother of four made over $200 in one night after posting a lullaby to her daughter. That video got over 27 million views in a week. After the video went viral, she got to talk with major record labels and even recorded her first single, according to an ABC News interview. Social media allows users to promote their brands and ideas. In a recent interview with Oprah, comedian Kevin Hart explained how social media allowed his brand to grow. He says that he's allowed to connect with hundreds of people through social media, which helps him to then develop his brand. According to the advocate, social media can harm our mental stability. However, in a recent study done by a cyberbullying research center, the vast majority of kids are doing the right thing on social media. On a national data, only 12% of middle and high school students have cyberbullied others. That's leaving 88% that have not. A lot of kids and adults use social media as a way to encourage them, mentor them, inspire them, and even show them that they are not alone. Many people go through stress and depression, and for those people, social media is a way that helps them cope with it. In conclusion, social media does not decline human beings' well-being if it is used correctly and with moderation. Social media has allowed people to connect with others in ways that will help their well-being. Thank you.
Mary, well, you identified the major claim that the advocate's presenting. It doesn't really seem like you're following the individual secondary claims. I got a lot of different issues that you're presenting, and they aren't as clearly signposts as they ought to be. You on the issue of it being addictive, you seem to acknowledge that there is a possibility of addictiveness, but you suggest that it's just that way with a lot of sorts of behaviors. There's no reference to the advocate's evidence on this particular point, whether the advocate's evidence suggested this addiction was particularly dangerous or threatening, whether it is getting worse. We don't have any general conclusion about that. Instead, we get an argument that says, well, you can gain money from doing this, and it's nice that single mother out there sang a lullaby, got a whole bunch of hits, and now has recorded a single. Does that mean, in fact, that it's not addictive or that there is no harm that occurs? I think that that's a potential advantage of having the social media, but it doesn't necessarily deny the harmful consequences that the advocate's talking about. The notion of promoting the brand is the same sort of thing. Social media is great for selling us stuff, and I think the world's full of people who would be happy to tell you selling us stuff is not necessarily a very good thing, especially if what they're selling us is Kevin Hart. Sorry, that was a shot. On the mental stability issue, the notion that only 12% of the kids online have cyberbullied, I'm not sure that sounds like that's all that encouraging a figure. That sounds like a lot of kids out there doing some cyberbullying. That it's not the majority. How does it compare in contrast to, for instance, the kind of bullying that goes on the playground itself, as opposed to in the social media atmosphere. That, I think, would help us understand a little bit more what that statistic ends up meaning. And the depression issue, I think you are probably correct that some people can manage their depression, find support and assistance online, but you have no examples of that. You have no data that supports that particular conclusion. That's all an assertion on your part. The delivery is not particularly enthusiastic. I mean, I know that maybe everything isn't the most fascinating thing in the world, but your voice needs to have a little bit more energy. Try a little bit of variety. Watch the hands in the pocket. That makes you look like you're kind of bored. And I know that you're not bored, but you're not engaged either. Okay, thank you.